Hello guys, it's your Cranetech here. So today I'm gonna be showing you the lineups that will lead you straight to heaven. Sorry. So today I'm gonna be showing you all the molly lineups that I know for the map heaven in the Valorant, plus all the lineups for the Oneways in defensive cases, and finally few defensive wall lineups and aggressive pushing. Better to say an idea. I hope you guys have seen that 90% of the Viper main execute their molly lineups using their crosshair. I mean, they use their crosshair as the reference for their molly lineups. But if you have like an eyesight problem like me,
But I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
then it feels really hard to use those lineups because it's kinda goes wrong sometime due to the vision issue, and it varies from player to player according to their different crosshairs. So to make the lineup remember easily and to generalize these lineups, I'm gonna be using the toxin meter as a reference for my lineup in 90% cases in this tutorial. And trust me, maybe my aim is not so good, but I never miss any lineups. So grab yourself a cup of poison with a snake bite to stir it up, and let's get started. Whoa, wait. In case you don't know how to practice, just go to your custom lobby, allow the cheats on, and pretty much these settings. Select the map, and just start the game. Select the Viper, and once your game is opened, go to the cheats tab and allow the all cheats on.
My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, the all on. Yeah. And once the match starts, just turn on the pause timer so you have infinity time to practice. Now we're good to go. So let's start with site C. So for this place, like this called C default, I have total of 5 lineups which are easy to remember and trustworthy. So for the first lineup, come to this corner of the C long over here, equip the snake bite and stare at the sky. Now align the top right white point, I mean the 5th point of the toxin scale, with the edge of the hill like that. Now simply jump and left click, and it will nicely land on the C default, covering the maximum area it possibly could. So even if somebody stands near the spike, he will get a significant amount of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Wait, don't even dare to forget that you need to combine the smoke orb with this thing. Now you can have doubt that enemy can defuse the spike from there, but they can't actually.
My garage.
Last player standing. Killed. Poison's off. One enemy remaining.
So for the next lineup, bring yourself up to here. Now stare at the sky and align the white point with that sharp black point. So adjust it correctly as I'm showing and simply left click, and it will perfectly land on C default in 99.99% cases. And this is one of the best lineups in post plan situations. Now for the next lineup, bring yourself up to this box in the mid doors and stand like that, and aim at the midpoint of this kind of specific leaf like so, and simply jump and left click, and it nicely lands on C default. But sometimes it goes wrong because people can push to mid door through garage, and that can mess things up. Anyways, for the next lineup, bring yourself up to this corner outside of the B site. Look up in the sky and aim little bit down of the edge of that wood over there and left click. As you can see, it's pretty easy and will nicely land on C default, covering a huge area over there. And in some cases, you can easily use this lineup as a retake lineup. You might think it's pretty easy. What can possibly
go wrong over here?
Now for the last C default lineup, come to this position over this structure over here and align the top left white point of your toxin meter with the fourth intersection of that window architecture, like so, and simply left click. And it will nicely hit C default precisely. That's the advantage of using toxin meter as reference, that it will precisely hit on right place. Doesn't matter which crosshair you have. So by moving on, the next lineup is for C long open. So for that, come to this corner of the C long and simply align the 0th point of your toxin meter with the tip of that wire pole, like that. In simple words, align the top left white dot of your toxin meter with the tip of that electric pole and simply left click, and it nicely lands on the C long open. Even if you die, your teammates can peek through C long in a later situation. Now the next lineup is for planting behind the box there. So for that, come into the same corner again and crouch and align the first point of your toxin scale with the junction of these two hills, like that, so, and simply left click. And guess what, it nicely lands behind the box, and even if you die, your teammates can pick from C long at the spot and nicely kill them. Now that was all for side C. Now for side B, I have one popular lineup for B default. You can camp in window and you can kill from window, and you can execute molly from the window, like that, so. But in other cases, for the lineup, bring yourself up to this T-spawn over here and aim at the tip of the tempo and shoot, and it nicely lands on the B default. Now moving on to the side A, I have lineups from this place and that place to the A default. So in the place of so-called A default, you can plant in two positions. One in the extreme left over here and another one is extreme right over here. So I have particular lineups for each one of them, so anyone can plant it. So for the extreme right plant situation, to execute this lineup, come in this corner and crouch, stare at the sky. Now imagine this light bulb as a circle. Now try to align the second point of the toxin meter to its center. I mean roughly inside of the circle at any point. So align like this and simply shoot. And it precisely lands on here. Now for the left planted A default situation, to execute the lineup, come into this corner again, crouch, stare at the sky and align the 0th point of your toxin meter with the edge of this roof, like that, and simply shoot, and it nicely lands on the A default. The funny thing is, if you slide the toxin meter right up to this red spot in the hill, the molly lands in between those two previous places. Isn't it cool? So that's why I use the toxin meter as the reference for my 90% lineups, because it's so flexible and precise. As an alternative, you can use this spot, come over to this place here and align the third point of the toxin meter with the edge of this window over here, like this, and shoot, and it nicely lands on A default. And you can also use it as a retake lineup. Just shoot one molly in the third point and shoot another one in the second point, like this. And trust me, you can get 1 or 2 free kills if the enemy is aggressively pushing in a site. And also combine the wall for full retake. Now the next lineup is for under heaven. Plant the spike over there, come into this corner and aim at the edge of this wood type of thing and simply jump and shoot, and it will nicely land upon the planted spike in under heaven and will cover the maximum area over there, so nobody can stand near it. Even you can pick from long and can directly deploy molly upon that quickly if the enemy already started defusing it. Now the last lineup is for this place. So for this lineup, just Go again to this corner and crouch. Now align that small crosshair with that gray spot over there and simply shoot. And that nicely lands on over there.
There.
But I also have an alternative place for that. Just come into this corner again and aim at the right edge of that wood and simply shoot. And that goes all the way down to there. Cool. Now it's time for Oneways. So the first Oneway is at C. All you need to do is come here and aim over here and simply throw the orb. And it's a really good Oneway. You can see enemies' feet first, but they can't see any shit. But beware of Odin, just in case they can spam on you. The best part of this Oneway is you can retrieve the poison orb back again. So the next Oneway is for C long. I know it's pretty hard to see, but if you can imagine this thing as a polygon and this be the corner of that, you need to stand upon this corner here. So once you stand there, bring up the poison orb in your hand. Then now align the first point of the toxin meter with the end of the shadow like that, and the crosshair right around here, and simply jump and throw the orb. Now if you can successfully set up this orb, then this is one of the most powerful Oneways, because you have the full vision of the enemy there, but enemies have no vision to you. So you can get easily 1 or 2 kills with op. The only problem with this Oneway is the setup success rate of this Oneway is like around 30% for me, because I have no clue why it doesn't work sometimes. Literally. I mean literally? Never mind, try it to yourself. The next Oneway is for C garage. So first of all, stand up on this place over here.
There.
Equip the poison orb in your hand and aim on the place over there, right there, yeah, above the door and in between those red spots, and simply left click. This is a good Oneway because you have the full sight of the enemy pushing through garage with 50 DK. On the other hand, enemies have no sight until and unless they push inside, and they have so many angles to care of, so you can get a free kill. And once again, the best part of this Oneway is you can take back the poison orb from its Oneway spot. So moving on to the next Oneway, come to heaven at right here at site A and aim over there and simply throw the poison orb, and it will nicely land upon that box. Will create a easy, nice Oneway to the sewers. You can also execute this Oneway like this, just simply a jump and right click throw from ground. The next Oneway you can do over here, just stand up on this black line and aim yourself over there and throw it. Now that's the easy and good Oneway obviously, but this Oneway is more beneficial from heaven. You can also deploy this Oneway from heaven. So to execute that same Oneway from heaven, just stand near the left side of the window and aim right over there and simply throw the poison orb. And that's it. That was my last Oneway. And even the good thing is you can also retrieve back this poison orb from its Oneway spot. The video is getting too long, so at last I really want to mention this attacking wall because it's really awesome. So to do this wall lineup, just come to this corner over this box in sewers, align the bottom of the triangle of this in this specific orientation which divides these two parts, and simply shoot it. Why this is awesome? Because this wall covers the whole heaven and the city, so you can push quick and can plant. On the other hand, from enemy perspective, they can see a single shit from heaven, and also if they try to pick through heaven, they will get random DK. And this wall is invented by our Viper King, Unidaro. Just go and subscribe him. What are you waiting for? He's literally the Viper King. And for the defense, the best wall lineup I can mention is like a wall like this that runs through C long and to all the way to the mid and covering the window like that. So and yeah, that's it. Maybe later I can make a separate video about those wall lineups, and that's it. So all I got remain to show you is some of my dumb ideas which I do but sometimes works, like mauling in C long and take a judge and rushing them and run and gun them and taking an ace, or making a wall like this in the mid at the first of round and running with a phantom and spectre and ripping the pushing enemies and backstabbing to A or C. And I'm sure this looks really dumb ideas, like making a wall over there and running with a gun and aggressively killing, at least trying to kill the pushing enemies to stop them from rushing. But sometimes it works, sometimes I got killed, but you can try. Ooh, that was a long video, and that's all I got for you today. And I'm also gonna be making a similar video for the map Icebox, Split, Ascent and Bind with fresh and new lineups and Oneways. So stay tuned for that. Till then, good night, good luck. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, that's it.
Let's go.
Aray, dadari! Nay!